All right, let's be real, y'all. We know when we're talking about oligarchs, Yarvin-esque billionaire, technocrat, dude bros like Elon Musk, there is no amount of appealing to their humanity that is going to work. I said this in a video on my main a while back, but if you're trying to call your MAGA congressmen, senators, talking to them about trans rights, women's access to health care, the poorest and most vulnerable among us going hungry, little children going hungry, they do not give a fuck. They do not care about those issues. You cannot leverage your conservative Republican senators by appealing to their humanity. They don't care about social programs, and they have shown the entire world that they do not care about their constituents at all. And it is very much the same with folks like Elon Musk, right? They are taking a play from his playbook. They are following in his footsteps. And also in the footsteps of, narcissist Donald Trump. All of these folks do not care about our suffering at all. So I understand saying trans rights are human rights. I understand saying that little children are contracting HIV in Africa because we've stopped the USAID program. I understand that we're talking about disabled folks and veterans losing access to their healthcare. These people do not care. Elon Musk has called us, the American people, the parasite class. So I honestly believe we are wasting our time if we are focusing on the social issues. Yes, we need to talk about them. Yes, we need to raise awareness. Yes, we need to be very real and upfront and in everybody's face about how much folks are suffering. But those are going to be issues that speak to us as working class Americans, that is our shared suffering, right? These folks up here, they are inflicting that suffering knowingly. They want to do it. So you can't be like, oh, I'm hurting. They're like, yeah, good. I hoped you would. I hoped you would be hurting. My goal is for you to suffer. So how is it then that we, I don't even know if I want to say persuade them. Our elected Republicans, I think, can be persuaded. But how is it that we really get to what matters when it comes to billionaires, when it comes to technocrats? How do we fight back against them? Someone at the protest yesterday had a sign that said, the economy is the only language they speak. And I think that is absolutely true. The only thing these boys care about is money, 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 and the sense of control that gives them. They want to use money to work out their daddy issues. They want to use money to exert control over you. Money is the root of everything for them. And so I do really believe that the most efficient form of resistance is an economic resistance. Not just efficient, but also effective. Do I think we should be marching in the streets and having mass protest in that way? Yes, absolutely. But I also think that what is really going to get them in the long run is sustained boycott, sustained withdrawal of our money from the economy. I just want to remind everybody that we made these billionaires. The power ultimately comes from us, and the power of the boycott is a big one. We have the ability to make significant collective impacts on these guys. We are looking at billionaires anxious to consolidate their power and their control. The CEO of Airbnb just joined the not legitimate, not Department of Government Efficiency. These guys want to rule over us like little feudal overlords, right? They want to have their little fiefdoms and they want us to be entirely dependent on them. We are seen as nothing more than cogs in their machine. All they care about is themselves and their money. So let's hit him in the pocketbook. I said in a video on my main account that got a lot of views and a lot of people who didn't like what I had to say, which was that we in America don't seem to understand the extent of the sacrifice we are going to have to make in order to bring about the change that we need to see in order to protect our democracy. People were like, oh, Angela, not everybody can go to a protest. I'm not saying everybody can go to or should go to a protest. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying we all have a job to do in the resistance. And something that almost every single one of us can do, every one of us can do, is find ways to withhold our pennies from these bros who are attempting to oppress us, who are actively oppressing us right now, who are costing thousands and thousands of federal workers their jobs, and that will cause a ripple through the economy. All of those contractors, all of those people who depended on what those governmental agencies were doing in order to conduct their private business, all of those people are going to be losing their jobs. And I think one of the easiest places that we can plug in to start making the sacrifices that are necessary is to make a conscious decision to boycott the businesses that these guys own. I've seen some folks selling their Teslas and donating the money to charity, or like the ACLU or NPR. Awesome. That's great. If you are privileged enough to do that, thank you for setting an example. I think by and large, American consumers have a really hard time with self-denial, and we are not very good at boycotts in general. We're good for like very much the short term, and then we backslide quite a bit. Or even when we say that we're boycotting something, we're not really doing it. And this is an instance where I think we can all learn some self-discipline, and we can find at least one business that is actively supporting this regime, that is actively harming us, and decide not to give them any of our dollars. I know that there are rural folks, there are disabled folks who use Amazon and feel like they have no other option because they did not make the system that we all have to live within and have to operate within. And I understand that. But for the majority of us, I think we could all probably figure out how to get rid of our our Kindles or our Audible subscription. We could quit Amazon Prime, at least, even if you're still ordering other things on Amazon. The majority of us can stop shopping at Whole Foods, which is owned by Bezos. Those are things that, like, let's be real. It's gonna suck. I can't have my favorite English Stilton that I can only find at Whole Foods. Oh, well, that is something I'm gonna have to do without. A little luxury when we are in a society where it feels like we have so few treats that the ones that we can access, we don't want to give up because they make life seem more livable. But like, I'm sorry, every single one of us can say, fuck Airbnb, I'm not using them at all ever again. There is no reason pretty much every single one of us can't quit Twitter right now. I quit it when Musk bought it ages ago, but none of us should be using Twitter, especially not self-proclaimed socialists and communists and folks who are opposed to fascism should not be using Twitter. I understand this is the internet. There always has to be some kind of qualifier. I understand there are people who are using Twitter on purpose as an attempt to get their message out to folks on the right. That is why I am still using Facebook very limited amount right now. But I still go back and forth on whether I want to be using Facebook for that purpose or not. Am I actually reaching anybody? I don't know. But like Elon Musk is attempting to turn America into a fascist dictatorship that he runs with him and his technocrat bros, where they want to basically enslave every single American. And I don't think there is any real justification for why you can keep using Twitter or Tesla or supporting any of his businesses in the wake of that reality, right? And I think for those of us that have retirement accounts, if you have an IRA, if you have a 401k, get on the horn and get your financial planner to divest of everything that is Musk-owned businesses. There are hundreds of millions of us. And also, we have folks in solidarity with us all around the world, in Canada and Mexico, in Europe, that also can vote with their dollars, also consciously boycott anything related to Musk, anything related to any of these businesses that these technocrats own. We are all going to have to do without. We're going to have to feel a pinch in that regard. But damn, if all of us were willing to experience a little bit of deprivation in all of these areas, our collective response, our collective power there is tremendous. They don't care about anything but the economics. They don't care about anything but the money. You may have noticed that Donald Trump's Truth Social platform has absolutely tanked. They have lost bucketfuls of money, so much that they're about to fall off the NASDAQ and become a penny stock. We made these billionaires. I know a lot of them are from wealth, but we amplified their wealth. We made Elon Musk. Y'all, we did that. And I know that we didn't understand what those guys were going to do to us, but we know now the wool has been pulled from our eyes. We know we made them and we can unmake them. The same process that we used to enrich them and to give them the power that they now have, we can just run that in reverse, okay? So however it is, you can look through your spending, look through your choices and say, what sacrifice can I make? What can I do to make an active choice to boycott these brands? Do it.